Hello, and you are listening to It Is All About Sports First Podcast, and I am Scott, your host, and today I will be recapping the 2013 Miami Dolphins season. I'll be giving you my opinions on what needs to be done. First of all, I want to say thanks for stopping by and checking out our podcast. We will have guests on this show in the near future, possibly even a phone number, so you can call in and give your opinions as well in the near future. With this being said, let's get right to it. As some of you may know, I predict an 11-5 record for the Dolphins season this year. My article on my website was the Dolphins set for a breakout year, 5 reasons why they captured the AFC East. Well, it certainly did not go that way, but when we started this season 3-0, it looked like 11-5 was not only possible, but probable as well. Then the Dolphins had a 4-game losing streak with a bye week in the middle. 2 games that hurt the most were the Baltimore and Buffalo games. They were the games we could have won and should have won, especially that Buffalo game. It was an up and down year for the Dolphins. Bullygate probably cost them a couple of games, but it also made them stronger as well. They played better after the Tampa Bay game, and the offensive line played some of its best football during that stretch. After the win against the hated Patriots, and I mean the hated Patriots, at least for me, they looked pretty good. They had a 3-game winning streak going. But then we all know what happened after that. So the question is, where do we go from here? What will the Dolphins do this offseason? Will they make any changes, or will they stay put? Right now, it looks like they're staying put. In my opinion, changes are needed. The first thing I would do is fire Jeff Ireland. We could have a pretty long conversation about why we should fire him, and I'm sure most people are on board for that one. Okay, so that would be the first move. After that, I would say, for now, we would go and promote Jeff Ireland's assistant, Brian Kane, to a 1-year contract as the GM, have him report directly to Philbin. And the reason for this is, I want to give Philbin at least another year. You want to give a coach at least 3 years unless he's awful, and, Philbin really wasn't awful yet. Bad at times, perhaps, but not awful. Anyway, Philbin should have final say over all the players drafted and acquired through free agency. He should work closely with Kane to make sure they don't draft any players with high draft picks, I should say, that can't play, kind of like Daniel Thomas. Over the years Ireland has made those kinds of picks, and it's really hurt us. It really set the franchise back. So that's the way it goes. Look, Philbin gets at least 1 more year here because, like I mentioned, he's not awful. His record was 15-17, which is a little bit below average, but not awful. Secondly, I know Philbin may not want to fire Mike Sherman, but he could take over the play calling for Mike Sherman at the very least if you don't fire him. I would fire him. I think Sherman should be fired, and if it was me, I would do it myself. Would have been done already. The offense needs to be overhauled. They were 26th in the league in points scored, 27th in rush yards, and 20th in pass yards. So there's a lot to be improved upon. The offense needs a total overhaul and a new identity. This offense was very predictable and seemed like they ran the same plays out of the same formations all year long, maybe 5 plays, with no creativity, which is, what Sherman's responsible for, and probably why most fans want him fired. Deception is a big part of this game in the NFL. Even if you're going to throw the ball, you have to look like you're going to run it. But we always seem to just, snap the ball to the shotgun on almost every play. So another thing the Dolphins need to do is be more physical, really on both sides of the ball. They were a soft team this year. They cannot make a 3rd and short, a 4th and short to save their lives. Dolphins need to upgrade the running back position. Dan Thomas should not be on the team. We need a bruising running back to go along with Lamar Miller to help pick up those short yardage plays when we need it. And this all goes back to Ireland, of course, who keeps making bad move after bad move. So the Miami Dolphins line also set records for the most sacks, 58 in one season, and this will no doubt be their biggest priority in the offseason for whoever the GM is, and we're hoping that there's a change in GM. Mike Pouncey should be the only returning starter. However, we do like the job that Sam Brenner did, who filled in after Bullygate. Did a pretty good job for an undrafted guy. Ryan Tannehill needs to improve his deep passing, and this should be worked out by the start of next season. These guys should hook up in the offseason and commit to getting better. I know Ryan Tannehill wants to do that. I'm not sure if Mike Wallace wants to do that, although I do like Mike Wallace. The missed deep balls this year cost us some points in games, and Tannehill has to improve upon that. Right now, a week after the season ended, most Dolphins fans will remember is that Tannehill was part of the team that choked its way out of the playoffs. And like most quarterbacks, you get a lot of credit when you win and a lot of blame when you lose. And this is really the way it should be until Tannehill can get the Dolphins into the playoffs. There will always be a doubt. And we think he is our future franchise quarterback, even with the two stinkers at the end of the season. The last touchdown pass Tannehill threw this year was a thing of beauty, with a rush in his face to Mike Wallace down inside the red zone against the Jets. Last thing we want to mention is our run defense, which finished 24th in the NFL. The changes in linebacker in the offseason hurt the Dolphins. This is another reason why the Dolphins fans want Ireland fired. Defense overall played well for most of the season and finished 8th in points allowed with 20.9 points per game. The Dolphins have to find a way to dump Philip Wheeler, who hurt the Dolphins with his play, and getting penalties at the wrong time during games. I would like to see them Ellaby replaced as well, but probably not going to happen this year. It's clear that the Dolphins' offense is holding the team back. My last suggestion would be fire Mike Sherman and Jeff Ireland. That is all. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Leave a comment below, and we'll see you next week. We'll talk a little NFL playoffs, a little hockey, a little heat, and subscribe to our newsletter and our YouTube channel. Thank you, and see you next time.